Welcome to English Stories by Manvi Sharma, where simple stories create powerful lessons. Hello everyone and welcome back. Today, I'm going to share a very meaningful and eye-opening story with you. Today's story is called The Boy Who Wasted Money. It is a story that teaches us the true value of money and why we should use it wisely.
It's a really beautiful tale that I think perfectly shows the difference between just having money and truly understanding what it's worth. So, let's begin.
Our story starts with a young boy named Kabir. Now Kabir, he came from a very wealthy family. He had pretty much everything a boy could ever wish for. You know, the newest toys, all the latest clothes, and a pocket full of money. His life was, well, incredibly comfortable.
But you see, there was a big problem. Kabir just didn't get the value of money. He would spend it so carelessly, buying brand new clothes that he'd barely even wear, or the most expensive new gadgets just because he felt like it. He'd often order way too much food and then just throw the leftovers away. All of it without a single second thought.
While Kabir's father watched all of this and he grew more and more concerned, he knew that just telling Kabir, hey, be careful with your money, well, that wasn't going to work. He realized it was time to teach his son a lesson that he would remember for the rest of his life.
So one evening, his father sat him down and said to him, very simply and very calmly, "From tomorrow, you will earn your own money."
Kabir, he just laughed it off. I mean, he'd never worked a single day in his life. He couldn't even imagine that it would be hard. In his mind, earning money was probably just some easy, simple game.
So, the very next morning, Kabir set out to find a job. He was feeling pretty confident, probably expecting to be back home in just a little while with his pockets full of cash. But the world outside his comfortable little bubble was not what he expected at all. He thought finding a job would be a piece of cake, but everywhere he went, the answer was no. No one was just going to hand a job to him. Finally, after hours and hours of searching, he found a man who would pay him to carry heavy boxes from a warehouse to a truck. The reality of work was so different from what he had expected. By the end of that long day, Kabir felt a kind of tired he had never known. His hands were sore. They had blisters from the rough, heavy boxes. His back ached, his legs hurt with every single step. And after all of that painful work, he looked down at the tiny amount of money he had earned.
But as he held those few coins and notes in his aching hands, something inside of him just shifted. This money, it felt completely different from the money his dad used to give him. This felt real. It felt important. For the very first time, he could actually feel the weight, the value of money.
He was exhausted, but also a little proud. Kabir walked all the way home and went straight to his father to show him the money he had earned with his own two hands. And this was the moment his father had been waiting for.
His father looked at the small pile of money. Then he looked up at Kabir's tired face and said, very gently, "Now throw this money in the dustbin." Kabir was just shocked. He couldn't believe what he was hearing. He held the money tightly in his hand and cried out, "No, I can't do that. I worked so hard for it. My whole body hurts."
And his father just smiled, a soft, knowing smile. He put a hand on Kabir's shoulder and said, "And that's exactly how I feel when you waste the money that I have worked so hard to earn."
In that one quiet moment, everything clicked. The words just hung there in the air, and this deep silence fell over Kabir. He looked from his father's kind eyes down to the money in his hand, and for the first time in his entire life, he understood. He truly understood.
That single day of hard work, and that one simple conversation, it changed Kabir forever. This wasn't just some quick lesson he'd forget. It was the start of a whole new way of looking at his life and at the world. From that day on, Kabir was a completely different person. He started spending his money thoughtfully, always asking himself if he really needed something. He stopped wasting food. He stopped wasting anything. And most importantly, he found a deep respect for hard work because now he knew exactly what it felt like.
So, what can we all learn from Kabir's story? What's the big lesson here? Well, it really all comes down to one simple, powerful truth. Money is easy to spend, but hard to earn. Value it. We should always try to remember the effort, whether it's our effort or someone else's, that goes into every single thing we have.
And that leads me to a final question for you to think about. What is one thing you can do today to show that you value what you have? It could be money, or food, or even your time. How can you honor the hard work behind it all?